At my baby shower, my husband leaned toward his mother and whispered, "Once the baby's here, we don't need her anymore." He didn't know the kitchen had an echo. He didn't know my godmother was standing 3 feet behind him, and he had absolutely no idea what was about to happen to him. I'm Sophie. I'm 32 years old. The house we were standing in, the one full of flowers and gifts and people who loved me, I bought it, paid for every inch of it. The mortgage, the taxes, the utilities, all mine, 18 months before I ever met Ethan. Ethan was the kind of man who made eye contact when you spoke, who asked follow-up questions, who touched the small of your back when you walked through a door and made it feel like protection rather than steering. I met him at a nonprofit gala. He told me he'd noticed me first because I was the only person in the room who actually cared about the cause, which was a very good line. I understand that now. We dated 7 months, got married in April. He moved in, and for a while, everything looked exactly like the life I'd been building toward. Then his mother, Joan, started showing up, unannounced, every week. She rearranged my nursery closet while I was at work and left a note that said, "Much better flow now," she told Ethan, in front of me, that she'd be staying weekends after the baby came to make sure things were handled properly. When I pushed back, Ethan said she was just excited. He said I was being hormonal. I was 31 weeks pregnant, working full-time, and managing a full fundraising season at work. I didn't have the energy to fight on 2 fronts. I chose the wrong battle to surrender. At month 7, I came home from a doctor's appointment and found them sitting at my dining room table with a stack of printed documents. They closed their laptops when I walked in. "Just going over some planning stuff," Ethan said, smiling. That warm, closed smile he used when he wanted a question to feel foolish for being asked. I went to make tea. I told myself it was nursery logistics. I was wrong about almost everything. Then came the shower. Diane, my godmother, the woman who raised me after my mother died, hosted it at my house. White ranunculus, sparkling cider, a crescent moon cake, 26 people. Beautiful afternoon. I was in the living room opening a gift, a hand-knitted blanket from a coworker, when I heard Ethan's voice from the kitchen. My house has an acoustic quirk. The archway between the kitchen and dining room carries sound in a way the builder probably didn't intend. "Once the baby's here, we don't need her anymore. Joan, quieter. The house is the important thing. We secure that first, then the accounts." Ethan, again, postpartum. She won't fight it. Too tired, too emotional. We give her 60 days and she signs whatever we put in front of her. I was holding that blanket. Soft, cream-colored wool, made stitch by stitch by someone who cared about my baby. My husband was describing how to take my life apart like it was a quarterly projection. Across the room, Diane stood frozen in the archway, pitcher in hand. She'd heard every word. Diane is a retired family court judge, 31 years on the bench watching people perform for her. We looked at each other across that room and something passed between us that didn't need words. The shower ran another hour and 40 minutes. I opened every gift. I smiled. I ate cake. I told Joan the bakery suggestion was wonderful. I performed that entire afternoon with the precision of someone who understood that every minute I spent looking normal was a minute I was buying for what came next. Diane was the last to leave. She stood in my kitchen, coat on, keys in hand, and said 5 words. "I need you to call Renata Osei." The attorney Diane had worked alongside for 15 years. Marital fraud, domestic financial abuse. The kind of quiet, surgical legal work that doesn't make noise until it's already finished. I called her at 7:14 the next morning. "Tell me everything," she said. "Don't leave anything out, don't soften it." I talked for 55 minutes. She asked 4 questions. Then, "What your husband is planning isn't a divorce strategy, it's fraud. I need 14 days. Behave completely normally. Can you do that?" "I can do that." What she found in those 14 days and what happened when Ethan walked through that door on day 14, neither he nor Joan saw coming. Full video linked below.